What's up, everyone? Welcome to the High Passion Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel K., and we're here with another great guest, Brad Hainschwang.
What's up, everybody?
Brad is the founder of Skate Smoke, and he's here to talk about their brand and their mission to fight the stigma around cannabis and athleticism. Let's get into it. What's up, man? Thanks for coming out. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks
for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We've been chatting on Instagram for a while. You know, I've been seeing your funny content, all the little skits you've been doing. It's just it's a vibe. So I'm glad you reached out to make this happen and finally got you here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I love that what you guys are doing. So I feel honored to be on here.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sorry. So let's get right into it. Like I said, tell us a little bit about what you do at Skate Smoke.
Yeah, I'm like the CEO, I'm the janitor, I'm the accountant, I'm a little bit of everything. So, but the brand, kind of like what you already said, was that it's about, changing the stigma of weed and kind of moving away from the devil's lettuce and all that kind of stuff to show a better light towards it. So in doing that, I want to kind of install being active as well. So since I love skateboarding and I love the flower.
Yeah.
I figure why not put the two together and kind of make it work, you know?
Yeah, make something of it, right?
Exactly,
spread that positivity of your passion for skateboarding as well as, the flower itself.
Yeah, they're so similar. Like there's subcultures, they're kind of anti-establishment. They really have their own place, but at the same time they have similarities. It's kind of nice to see it changing, and with skateboarding being the Olympics, with weed being legal in Canada and some places in the States and some other places around the world.
Some huge changes,
I mean, just the benefits of it, which you can get into for days about it.
Yeah, well, we'll get a bit into it a little bit later, but for now, we'll talk about, when did you start Skate Smoke? How did this happen?
Yeah, so, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I've been drawing for decades.
Okay.
So I was drawing a lot and smoking weed and just skateboarding because everywhere was free. There was no security. I wasn't just in skate parks. I was like, I hadn't street skated in years. So
that's interesting.
Go down to the business core of Toronto, CBC, TD Bank, all those places. And it just kind of hit me one day, just smoking a joint with my buddy on a ledge going, I think I could put this all together somehow. And so since I created enough over the years, I have plenty of artworks on stuff that I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just kind of add, to the hats and everything. And so I just thought, why not try to put it all together and how do I promote it? So for me, it's doing events and speaking to the cannabis community and the skateboard community, showing the positiveness of weed, getting rid of the stigma.
Yeah.
And just try to change things.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, so that's kind of what inspired you then, seeing that the stigma in the cannabis industry and around it and how much it was helping you.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even actually in each community, skateboard and even in the weed community, there's this weird snobbishness. I don't know how to explain it. And it's just this beer is so acceptable everywhere that it's just normal. Yeah. And I don't think we've normalized weed yet. Even in the cannabis community, I see a little bit of it too, because you see the corporate side of it. And then you see the other side of it, the complete opposite, right? The legacy side of it.
100% when you're talking about the LP corporate side of it. I do see a lot of that. There's this split.
Some people don't even do it.
Yeah.
They literally, I've talked to them. They wear nothing against them, but they wear the little vest with their logo and they're like, this has got this in it and that in it. Okay, well, what else is in it? What and then you see them drinking a beer and you don't see them at the event. You don't see them smoking it or eating it or consuming it at all.
And I'm like, you're representing the brand?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How?
I was at Wine and I won't name the company, but the guy, he was great at selling it, but then he didn't really know what was in it really. And the guy beside him was like, hey man, I'm just here to sell the product. I just want people to buy it. That's it. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't do it. And people would come up and ask what ingredients are in it. And they were like, we have no idea.
Yeah. And
so people wouldn't even get the free samples. So no one took the free samples. Yeah. So why would you? I don't understand why you even do it.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't at all. Yeah.
I've had that experience too at some of these events where I'm like, I'm a grower myself. So as a grower, when people are showing off their product, I'm asking questions about the grow and is it soil grown? What nutrients are you using? Are you using amendments? A bunch of things like that. And I'm talking to the guy that's like, oh yeah, I run this and this and this and telling this whole story. And I'm like, oh, what do you grow it in? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, how do you how do you run the company or run the business and you can't speak about the product? It's crazy to me.
So when you see the other side of it, where you go to these legacy events and it's a party, man, it's a vibe, it's all of that, and it's so different than the other side of it, where it's very, like I said, a lot of people don't consume it. It was, like at first there was a lot of mom and pops kind of grabbing into the market, and then big corporations came in.
Yeah,
and that's what we're seeing now, where there's a huge change. I don't know where that's going to go, obviously, but
absolutely,
a lot of stores are closing, but a lot of the legacies are doing better.
Yeah, I mean,
they're growing a better flower. The product is a better quality. It's still underground, if you will. Yeah. So you kind of have that different kind of feel with it.
Yeah,
it's
the culture, like doors, you said, it's all the culture. Mm-hmm. If you're in tune with the culture and you can get the people on board and you're just kind of honest and transparent, the cannabis community seems to support it. I mean, at least the culture of it, right?
Oh, yeah,
like you said, there's obviously the two separate sides.
Yeah.
But like, the people that were here from the beginning before legalization seem to be the companies that are, at least they're growing better flower. And I hope that translates to longer success in the industry.
I think it will. It's got to weed it out a bit. Yeah. It's only been 5-6 years.
It is still super early in the industry.
20 years from now.
Yeah, people are expecting so much.
Like I was in Europe just recently and I'd never seen it before, but it was just a weed vending machine. You just go up, you tap your credit card, you have to scan your ID.
Okay.
And you tap it and it just came out.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is amazing.
That is awesome.
I was like, I took a photo of it and everyone's like, other people that knew it are like, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah,
I never seen that before.
That's not normal here.
It was a shop, but it was closed. And then you could still, from, 1 gram to 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
That is crazy. I mean, it's smart. I mean, these businesses need to be able to produce to sell the product. I mean, so it works apparently. So you were mentioning even in the skateboarding community, you see a bit of that separation.
Yeah, none of it's negative. It's just that, drinking is accepted in any culture, it seems like, or at least in North America. And so I see in skateboarding where I try to enlighten people on it. You don't have to do it, but just understand what it is, the flower itself. I know what's going in it, everything that I smoke for the most part.
Yeah.
And alcohol is just cancer, basically. And so I just try to enlighten people on that a bit to say, hey, Mike, maybe ease off of that. Try this, maybe. Oh, I don't want that stuff. It's not for me. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's just the understanding of it. They don't want to really hear it. It's not their thing.
Yeah.
And I can accept that, but I just don't like being like, nope, and just pushed to the side.
Yeah.
And I just see it changing.
Yeah, exactly. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. So for you, what's your relationship with skateboarding? Like, where did that start?
Oh, I've been skating since I was 8 and I'm 50 now. So do the math on that. Years and years and years of skating.
Yeah.
So, as a kid, like, same kind of a token store. There was like a rocker dude on my street that had an old 80s deck. I thought it was cool. Can I borrow it? He's like, hell no. So he gave me a little banana board and I cruised around the hills on that. And then eventually at Christmas time, I got like my first kind of real skateboard.
Okay.
And then as time went on, I kind of moved up and
progressed.
I mean, it was so great because you could let all your frustrations. It was just something new and interesting, and I thought it was super cool. Yeah. I still think it's cool.
Yeah. So that was the next question. You're still skateboarding.
Yeah. I'm not killing it like I did when I was 20, but I still go to the parks. I still skate around the street. I can still do a couple things.
Yeah.
But it's not really about that anymore. It's kind of like just hyping the next generation of kids. So obviously not pushing weed on them or something, the younger kids.
Yeah.
But my brand is Skate Smoke. So yeah, I'm two sides to it all, right?
Absolutely. It's hard to walk that line, because especially for what you guys are promoting, the recovery and the use of cannabis and athleticism, like it is a very beneficial thing, but obviously we don't want to affect the young minds of kids either. Yeah. So it's like
I'll never sponsor an event that has a kids side of it.
Agreed.
And if I had people come to me and I said, I'll do the 19 plus part of it, but just as a sponsor, and nothing more, just for product or whatever. But when I do cannabis events and cannabis skateboard events, which is eventually what I want to gear into pretty heavily,
for sure.
But everything takes time and money and,
100%.
And people that want to enjoy it as well. Right?
Absolutely. Skate jams are fun though.
Yeah.
So much fun.
We did one last year, just over one of the long holidays, just to see if it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked out pretty well. I mean, we got a lot of product. We had food vendors out. Like we did it really DIY style just to see if it would work. We had a belt and everything.
Yeah.
And this kid won it. I mean, he wasn't a kid, but 19.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm 50, so it's middle there. You know what I mean?
Kid to you.
Right. But he was stoked, and everyone there won some. So we're trying to maybe move in that direction as time goes on. But I feel like I need to keep it in more skateboarding.
Yeah.
At a Cannabis event, I'd love to have a mini ramp set up and have a whole spectacle.
That'd be cool.
Those are ideas but I have to find the right people.
For sure.
There's a cost efficiency to it. So the way we're doing it this year is we have a couple of events coming up that one is basically I want a skateboard rail through a company called Light Rails, and this guy Justin Behan does this online YouTube channel about Toronto skateboarding.
Okay.
I won the rail. I've never won anything in my life.
Nice.
But I'm going to donate it to the Dunbat Skate Park. I'd rather give it away. So we're going to do a little barbecue event. Details coming soon, obviously.
Yeah.
It should be pretty fun.
That's awesome. I mean, if there's room, I'd love to participate somehow, but we would definitely have to do something like that. I mean, I skateboard myself, and the culture there is huge. Like you said, the blend between cannabis and skateboarding. It's kind of where like the roots of my, I was kind of always a stoner, but like skateboarding is where it became, my thing.
It's pretty big in skateboarding. Like even though I was saying before about like from alcohol to smoking weed, it's been surfing since the beginning of time. There's been weed plants and graphics.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. I mean, Huff Clothing, they made weed socks and that made them millions of dollars.
Literally.
Not even thinking he doesn't even
socks.
He doesn't even smoke weed. He just thought it was funny.
Actually?
He doesn't smoke weed. Oh, rest in peace, Huff.
I didn't know that. Rest in peace. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't his thing at all, but they were like, dude, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
It made them. It really made them.
Good for them, I mean, the community ate it up.
That's everyone's dream. Anyone has a business. I'd love that'd be awesome.
Yeah. That's
crazy.
Low cost too, socks.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what I should start doing. Making some socks.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to make them last for skateboarding.
Oh, they're going to have like padding at the bottom. They have to get very intricate
Good quality.
piece.
Good quality.
For sure.
When you were in the skateboarding scene, when we spoke previously.
Well, actually, I still am in the skateboard scene, just to clarify. I still do it. I still go to all the events.
Absolutely.
Pick up all the young bucks.
I meant when you were younger in the skateboard scene, you started, you mentioned that you started a skate shop.
Yeah, it was called DBS. Original name was Donnie Brad Skates because me and another guy were going to go in on it together.
Okay.
But he decided to get a real job, HVAC, with Donnie, which is a smart move because I did that probably from like 18, 19, about 32, 33.
Okay.
Great experience, customer service, doing your own taxes, buying inventory.
Learning a lot.
Not selling it. How do I get rid of it? Do I throw it away and write it off? How do I do it?
Yeah.
There's so much to learn from that. And got a skate park. It was in Markham, Ontario.
Oh, wow.
Got a skate park beside the mall, Markville Mall there.
Wow.
For its time, it was very X-Game-ish. If you go there now, you're like, whoa, it's pretty big here.
Yeah.
But people still skate it. And
wow.
This guy,
and you petitioned for that and like helped them build it, or what was
8 years. Took 8 years. There's no plan back then.
Okay.
It's like the park didn't get built till like early 2000s.
Okay.
And it took from 95 to like 2002 to get the park. I went to every meeting. I'd wear a suit. The meeting wasn't even about skateboarding, but I'd still be there over and over again. It took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
But we're proud that it happened. And
Absolutely.
then the book that I made, I actually gave it to other people. So after a while, I kept documents of everything. So one of the big ones was we had in Markham at the time like 150 tennis courts, but not one skateboard park. And only a quarter of those tennis courts are being used. Give us a tennis court.
Yeah.
No. Okay, how can we do it? So where they put it is great. It's a spectacle. Everyone can see it.
Yeah.
And that kind of led the way for all these other parks to get built. So I made this huge kind of like info for anybody.
Yeah.
This is how you get a petition. You need 2,000 or whatever it was at the time. And this area, it's this much. And it can cost you this much for it. And so we kept moving forward. So that book that I made kept moving around to different.
That's awesome.
So Mississauga, Etobicoke, everywhere. Anywhere they were trying to get a park, I was helpful and it was useful for me to give it to someone because I don't want to keep it all for myself. I don't want to gatekeep.
Yeah.
I want everyone to know everything. You want to know where t-shirts get made? Hit me up. I can tell you where they get made. DM me. I want everyone to know. Because I didn't have that when I was doing
when you were starting
DBS. It was just like, where do I get shirts made? Like, I don't know how to do this. And pre-internet, so you're looking through yellow pages. And you'd go in.
It's crazy.
Right? This is dating myself. You go in and they're like, well, where's your dad? Where's your mom? Like, where's your boss?
Yeah.
I'm the boss. I'm like 17, 18, looking like a little kid. And they're like, do you even have any money? And
Yeah.
I always had cash on me. There you go. And they're like, oh shit, this kid's got cash.
Okay, we'll take that.
And they started about, roll, this guy's got money. Let's talk to this guy. Money talks.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Money talks.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I would do it all over again. But in this economy, I don't know. It'd be a very, very small store.
Yeah.
And only local, only Canadian stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Only
I mean,
local
I'm
Canadian
huge on
product.
that myself.
Yeah.
I love.
If I could get it all made here, I wish I could do that, but it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
So it all varies where that would go in the future, especially with what's going on right now with terrorists and all that.
Who knows? I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah. I'm.
So,
I
support
don't even
local,
want to
everybody.
think about
Support
it. Yes,
local brands.
Support your local.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So with still skateboarding at, sorry, you said you're 50? Yeah. Still skateboarding at 50. What are some of the things you do personally to, keep yourself in shape and able to do that?
I quit drinking years ago.
Okay.
And I don't drink soda. I'm talking soda, alcohol here and there.
Yeah.
Stretching.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into yoga. That's kind of new for me.
Okay.
And meditation, but everyone's different. I just when I get up in the morning, I usually get up around 8. I just sit on the floor and just cross my legs and just kind of be at peace with myself for a moment.
I think that's
in
huge.
the wintertime, I use red light.
Oh,
I
nice.
take omega-3s. I take different types of vitamins.
Yeah.
But not multivitamins. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Just take individual like omega only.
Like what you need.
Magnesium only.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
deficient in magnesium, which I've
Gotcha.
learned over the years.
Interesting.
Stretching.
Sort plants.
Yeah, right? Stretching. And then obviously, like for sometimes before to stretch, I smoke a joint.
Nice.
Just to like loosen myself up.
Yeah.
But actually skateboarding, I don't smoke weed when I'm skating. I
No?
can't do it. Other people are laser focused. I'm so relaxed.
Yeah. So it's more of a recovery, or like you said, like a meditation tool, good
Yeah,
for
for me.
stretching, good for after to kind of sit down, relax, unwind, and
Even when I'm drawing too, when I'm doing the artwork for the t-shirts, I'll do it then. But yeah, like actually the act of it, it's a complete opposite. I listen to death metal and metal and I get super pumped up. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get this.
Yeah.
And then when I get there, it's like, why are you so hyper? And it's like, because I just listened to metal for like an hour and a half. So I work out to that, light weights and stretch. Okay, I'm stretched. I'm good to go. So when I do go out and skate and land nothing, I'm not at least hurting afterwards.
Well, that's the big thing, and that's the hardest part, especially as you're aging. Like even me myself, I'm only 28, but I can't skate like I used to. And if I don't stretch, I'm in pain the next day.
Yeah,
like
it's one of those things where you just have to stay consistent. And over time, like I say to my partner, it's like I don't really feel different. And she's like, you're all over the place. You're bouncing up on the walls. Like you have so much energy.
Yeah.
Because I kind of moved away from eating fast food. And I'm saying I'm some guru. I'm going to change the world.
Yeah.
I still like cheeseburgers. I still have beers with the boys. I'm not perfect. But prior to that, I was really consuming alcohol like 2 2-4s a week and go to work and fill like a bag and then get up. And honestly, weed helped me get off that, which is funny because you wouldn't think people would be like that. But I'm like, if I wait all day and I get home and I smoke a joint, it's how I quit smoking cigarettes years ago.
There you go.
Wait till I get home from school or work, whatever I was doing. I'll smoke a joint. Okay, I'm good. And then I wouldn't smoke. And so I was like, maybe I could do that with
drinking.
I was drinking because I do have it in my family. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
And it's really taken a lot of people down I know and over the years. So being subconscious about that and also kind of reading about it and more research into it for myself. Even though I'm still smoking, I know it's not perfect for you, but 2 2-4s in a week is crazy.
Yeah, you could smoke an ounce in a week and it's going to be better for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like so not saying that you should smoke creative. An ounce in a week.
I stopped drawing. Yeah. Right. I stopped drawing. I stopped being creative. I would just like sit almost in the dark and just drink by myself.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But once I moved on,
that's crazy.
Things became better.
Yeah, it's awesome because honestly, for me myself, I'm actually 1 month in now to I've committed to doing 6 months California sober, so just cannabis only. Because through summer I was drinking way too much, and so many social events and like it's just being so busy. It's hard to lose 1 or 2 days,
And as you get older, the weight goes on way longer. Quicker. My metabolism is still pretty good, but I just noticed like. I weigh about 200 now. I was at 240, 250.
Yeah.
And it was all right here. You know what I mean? She's a hard gut. And you know that. You're like, what's up, Unc? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look like that dude.
Yeah.
You know,
We all know one of them. We all
right.
know one.
So I didn't want to be the skinny fat uncle skating at the park like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
I didn't want that, so I tried to shift my mindset.
Awesome. And it's spreading positivity. In the end of the day, like, it's better for not to say these kids, but just for the next generation to see examples of people that are doing it that way. You're still out there skateboarding. You're not just getting drunk and so you don't feel the pain.
I see that a lot at parks.
You know,
the younger generation, from up north to like from Thunder Bay skate parks to like even in the city here, right? Like from all the different little skate parks, that there's always a group of kids that hang out, and you're young, and that's part of it. And I'm not saying like, oh, hey, don't drink
for sure.
Instead, smoke weed. I'm just saying like maybe ease off of that.
It's the consistency,
right?
It's the consistency.
Move away from it and try to like. So I try to like. A lot of people like to draw, so I'm like, why don't you? Maybe we could do something together. Yeah, and that gives them a spark. Now I haven't done anything yet with anyone. Yeah, but I keep saying, yo, what's going on? Oh, you know, I fucked up. I went drinking last night. That's okay. I'm not. But that's part of life.
Literally.
But maybe ease up on it, and you know, if maybe smoke some weed instead. You know, 19 plus, obviously. 19 plus.
You know? But if you can convert one or two people, like in my mind, it's a far stretch, but like you are saving years of their lives. Alcohol takes years off of your life.
Where it's like, hey, it's no drinking, no smoking. Yeah, come out, hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever. Yeah, and like, yo, you don't smoke them. Like your skate smoke. It's like not every day. Like not today. Like, dude, let's focus on skateboarding, just having a good time, being responsible. Yeah. Not doing that, and it's like, oh, are we winning anything? It's like, no, dude, we're just hanging out and
having a good time.
Sometimes kids are like, yeah, you know, like I kind of drink more than I used to. Yeah. Or they just party too much, and we just have little conversations, and it's just real mellow. It's just huge. Getting in touch with those people, actually being out there on the street. Yeah, the best part, and I feel like too many people miss out on that. Like that's been my favorite part about this is meeting people, talking to people, and hearing their stories and spreading, you know, the positivity. In the end of the day, it's what it's about. All the communities, like every community, you know, they might have their little inner things going on, but for me as a whole, and the skateboard and the cannabis community, I want to be like, yo, what's up, Brad? Like, come and talk to me. The events I do, people just come on, we just shoot the shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm selling product, but it's cool. You don't have to buy anything. If you're just hanging out, here's a sticker. Oh, that was cool. Like, I'm not gonna force anything on you, but sometimes we just talk about skateboarding or what strain am I smoking or what they're smoking, and it's great. It's fun to have and there's no third place. It seems like at this. You know, there's not a lot of them, so skate parks become those. Yes. And then in that, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I always try to, like, not like a mitigator or anything, just show up and just hang out and skate. And since I'm older, it's like, what are you doing here? Like, it's kind of funny, you know, a lot of people don't see older men being active or women. Yeah. And so I always try to push that forward. Absolutely. You said something there and you brushed past it, but I really absolutely love the idea of a third place. Not a lot of people know about that, but humans have culturally for a very long time always had a third place. And just for everyone out there, third place, you know, you have your home, your work, and then, I mean, who knows what it used to be, but maybe for now, a lot of people, it's the bar, it's the skate park, it's the gym, you know, it's the spot where they go and spend the other majority of their time and actually enjoy kind of putting the glass down for a second, you know? You know, and also like maybe just put it at the remote. Yeah. Stop streaming for a minute. No, not alcohol. I mean, like take the weight off of your shoulders, you know, because home can be stressful sometimes. Keeping a home, managing a life, relationships, job or school, stressful as well sometimes. So it's nice to have that third place, and I think it's super important. It is, and that's one part of skateboarding where you can just go street skating, like you have a park and you go to a local curb and get out your frustrations. That was so helpful as a teenager with all the angst running through me that I didn't know how to like get it out. So shred it up. You know? Like just shout out the third place. Everyone, you need to create one. If you don't have one, you know, find your people, find your place, and you know, create a community around it. It's so easy to do. Yeah. I mean, look at people doing like coffee shop parties now. Like, that's a great idea. There's so many just drinking coffee and dancing and enjoying the music. And that's it. A great idea. Yes, I love it. Love it. We need more of it. Yeah, 100%. I think you'll see more of it because there's a whole period of time with COVID that a lot of younger people didn't have any skills to do that because they were just learning them. Yeah, that's actually a good point. So they got stopped. So you're saying from 13 to 18, you weren't really out in the streets. You were doing you weren't really doing as much.
Yeah.
So
because that was the big thing with even with school that they missed out on. Like for me, after grade 10, you know, I didn't really learn too much from the school aspect that's benefited me in life, but the social skills that I learned in those last 2 years of like hanging out with the different groups and how to socialize, like I feel like a lot of kids missed out on that.
I will say this though, over the COVID, skateboarding blew up.
For sure. A lot of, yeah.
We couldn't find boards, trucks, and I had people calling me, like friends I hadn't talked to in like 10 years. Hey, you still skateboard? You got any boards?
You got any?
And of course I do. I have like 20 boards. So I'm like, all right, we'll come by the house and what do you want? And so then I started like, you know, giving out some boards to people and then, you know, just, hey, just how you turn. She'll get a couple things. And the dad or the mom was like, man, I don't do that. It's like, oh, no. If you're doing this, you're doing it with your kid.
Yeah.
You used to skate.
Yeah.
I have your board probably in the garage somewhere. Right? So they start skating again, and then a lot of them stayed with it, even to this day. So sometimes we meet up, depending where they live or where they're at, and their kid's still skating, or their kid quit.
Yeah, but they're still skating.
Because you had to be separate at that time with COVID. You couldn't be around people. So it's an open... Skate parks, they actually put fences around skate parks.
Crazy.
And sand.
Crazy.
They were putting sand in the bowls.
So to stop people.
To stop people from skateboarding. Yes, meanwhile, you don't hold hands and tackle people.
No, you're in open air. Right. You're outside.
But we didn't know that.
I know.
So the government fucked
it up so bad.
And we dig them out and keep skating. The cops will come by. You can't be in there. It's like, write me a ticket.
Yeah.
You literally don't want me in the streets. Yo. And now I'm here with another person who's across the park.
Kick push.
And we dug out the bull. We're going to keep it going. Yeah.
Kick push, man. Lupe Fiasco. That's the whole song.
Hey, there you go.
Sorry, young man. There's no skating here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. All right, well, getting on to the topic of cannabis, man. Let's roll something up here. I've got some pink gas there that I grew, and I've got some pink Bubba Kush here. I've got some already ground up here. You can pick between the two if you want, and let's roll one up. You know, that's a heavier indica. This one's a bit of a hybrid, but still an indica.
That smells really good.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. I'm gonna try this.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I only got one grinder here,
okay.
so
I got some skate smoke.
That's what I was gonna say. I saw you. Here. Yeah, shout out.
We sold them out on the website, but we'll make some more soon.
That's it. There you go. I gotta get more grinders here. I wanted to get some custom ones, but again, this person shut down. So
that's all right.
Looking around, we'll get them done.
Yeah, the lighter. This is a great setup.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm rolling up. I have some from a while ago. This is actually the last of it that I have, some Georgia pie.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a big fan of it.
My buddy, he just gave me a whole bunch of cheese.
Okay.
It's like kind of old school, but he's kind of just like going back to. He's been growing for decades.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He was growing for bikers and all that back in the day.
Yeah.
And he just started growing that, and this Ethiopian, Colombian one. He basically splits seeds. Like he's a mad scientist.
Nice.
He's a surfer. So he's like, where am I at? He'll just grab seeds off of somebody, take them back, germinate them, do all that jazz.
That's the best.
And I'm like, what is this? He's like, I don't know. I don't have names. He names everything like D35. And I'm like, what's D35?
What does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I still don't.
That is funny. I mean, that's an awesome
Shout
way
out Mr.
to do
T.
it. There you go. That's an awesome way to do it, man. Because, I mean, one of the things that I've struggled with being a grower through the evolution of the industry is learning the business side. You know, obviously, I want to grow the best cannabis possible, but businesses also have to run successfully. So finding that middle ground has been a very difficult thing, because I still want to, you know, I want the farms that I consult for to put out good products still.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I don't want mediocre product going to consumers. And I mean, my biggest thing is I want to find a way to get fresh and quality cannabis to consumers quicker. You know, the stuff's sitting in packages for too long.
Yeah.
In hot rooms. Yeah. With no ventilation.
I always wondered that.
You know, the dispensaries don't have proper store, and it's not the fault of their own. It's just, it's expensive, and they're small businesses to set up a walk-in fridge for all your cannabis, especially if you're sitting on product for a month.
Well, sometimes it's longer. Sometimes like it's 3 months later that if you buy it, you get it, and it's one nug is like, God damn.
Yeah.
And another one's like, what am I even smoking? You're getting high, but you're not, of course. The quality control is really hard in that industry.
There's too many what do you call it? Too many hands in the pocket, or however you want to.
Yeah, too many chefs in the kitchen, too many hands in the cookie jar.
You know, everybody, too many, there you go, hands in the cookie jar. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's a classic one, yeah.
You know, there's too many people want their percentage, and there's too many people between the grower, the actual farmer, the person that cares about the product, and the person that's selling the product.
And what I'm noticing is I feel like some of the growers are getting ripped off too in the pricing from what I've been reading.
For sure.
Again, I'm not, a specialist in that at all.
The biggest market is to export.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? So you don't make much money keeping your product here. So now people are trying to export all it, and we're getting less of the quality product here because it's more expensive. They're making more money sending it out.
It's always been like that.
Right? And it's sad
BC
because
had the best bud for decades, and they'd ship it out to the States.
Right?
And they'd always pay a better premium for it.
Of course.
And then to get it here, you'd have to get it shipped over.
Yeah.
We used to do it in VHS. Yes, I'm dating myself. So take out the tapes, and people used to stuff it full of weed and send it out that way.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It was an easy way to do it. And then you just make a phone call, like, send it. No email.
Nothing.
And then you just hope it comes. And one day it just showed up like, oh, I'm getting like 20 different
packages
of VHS tapes. But you get all the dope
That's
strands.
Awesome.
Yes.
I've seen online.
Then you Western wire the money. You couldn't e-transfer or...
Yeah, that wasn't even a thing.
So you're like, yo, the money hasn't shown up yet. It's coming, man. So I'm sitting there at Western Union like, wait. And then I do it, and then I go phone him back on a pay phone. Yeah. And like, it went through. Okay, cool. And then I go back again. Yeah, it went through. It's crazy.
That's funny because I actually saw online, it's probably a throwback to those times. There's people that they're making their packages now are VHS or like CD releases.
I've seen a flip phone one.
Oh, that's
like a burner phone, and it flips up, and it's two different types of weed at the top of the phone and the bottom. And then another one I saw where it was like a boombox, and it was an artist. I forget who it was, and you just press a little button, and it plays their song while you open up the bag of weed.
That's crazy. I love how creative people are getting. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. I wish that Canada allowed our companies to market more like that. Where again, like you said earlier, it's early in the industry.
Well,
so
have you been to the cookie store? Because they have a little bit of branding there because it's American product.
But only a company like Cookies can get away with it.
Yeah.
And have the budget to do it. You know what I mean?
Like, what brand is this? The packaging looks the same.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is this?
A lot of it's white labeling too. There's a lot of that, right? They're not actually growing the products themselves. It's a big farm, and then they're just
I was reading something on that. I kind of figured that was the case. But when you're looking at certain packaging, because I love design, I love all of it. Like eventually with the brand, I want to do more cut and sew. I want to do pants. I want to do
nice.
We have a couple of shirts and obviously the hats right now.
Yeah.
But I love that. Like when I go to the States and I just go into like this place in Brooklyn I went to recently, and all this colorful packaging and like this is so dope. And I'm taking photos. And like, you all ready? Because they thought I was spying or something. Yeah. No. I'm a comic code skate smoking. I give the guy
from Canada. We don't have this.
But like, yo, here's the hat. He's like, oh, dope. Okay. But I loved all the packaging. It's so inspirational. Like skateboard graphics. A lot of my artwork is based on 90s skateboard graphics.
Yeah.
So this guy Mark McKee, this guy Sean Cliver, they did tons of really cool, wild, crazy graphics. And so I kind of like love their humor, satirical. To some stuff is like straight in your face.
Yeah.
Like we have a t-shirt called FTP, Fuck the Police. And it's basically just a cop with a uniform on, but he's a pig.
Yeah.
He's eating donuts.
There you go.
Number one selling shirt.
Classic.
The new one we're going to have is just going to be a space with the X through it.
Yeah.
Right? To be like, no cops.
No cops.
And even people don't smoke weed. They love that shirt.
Yeah.
Everybody gets it.
Of course.
So it's great.
All right. Well, I'm going to spark this up here. As we do, we're going to talk about like what's your cannabis consumption like now? Are you a daily consumer, weekly? Like how's that for you?
Oh, I'm definitely daily.
Yeah.
Usually after either before I kind of do stretches or meditate or anything.
Yeah.
I'll smoke. After skateboarding, it's a daily thing. It's a few joints a day for sure. Couple. I don't really
just
count.
A couple.
I don't count.
No, why would you?
But I can also I think for me is that I went to Europe and for about a couple of days I didn't smoke at all. Actually, the whole trip I didn't smoke at all.
Okay.
And I felt fine. I'm not like I need it. I love it.
Yeah. For me, it's a habitual thing. So I enjoy smoking. Even when I take tolerance breaks, I usually start picking up cigars for like that. Not that I suggest that for anyone.
No, but a nice cigar.
It's just a habitual thing. I enjoy the social aspect of being able to sit here and smoke a joint with you. And, it's almost ritualistic for me.
And it helps. it helps some people to like, some people have really high anxiety. So they're like, oh, it kind of helps me talk to people and communicate.
Yeah. With my ADHD, it's I'd rather do this than take Vyvanse, which is what they prescribed me.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. Like I dropped my prescription, you know, it helped me when I was in high school and I was doing exams and stuff like that because I could single task focus. But in the real world, ADHD has really only been a benefit for me. You know, keeping it managed is the one thing.
I was going to say, you must have to manage it somehow.
The cannabis, that's what it is. Like I smoke all the time, but it helps me just take that extra edge off, you know? And don't get me wrong, sometimes you get caught up in the ADHD of it all. But that's part of it, you know?
Right. You know, everyone has their own way to kind of deal with things. And for me, cannabis works for me that way too.
Yeah.
It can bring my mood up or down. You know, it helps me in its own way. Everyone's different. I know some people medicate way more than I do and smoke fat blunts.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's your thing. I vary with it, you know. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, tolerance breaks always great. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't hurt anybody. Because when you
gives you a better time.
And when you roll that first joint, and I love rolling joints.
Yeah.
So when you don't do it for a while, like say like a week, and then when you roll that first one, you're like, God damn, it's still good at that.
Exactly.
And if it's good kush or whatever, if it's good flower, you're like, and it's that much better. And you're like, now I know why I love it. And, from flavor profile to that, and then obviously what it gives you. You know, some people can't touch it.
Yeah.
Can't touch weed at all.
And not for everybody.
Like, I like what you're doing, but it's not really my thing. And I'm like,
good.
If you can get a laugh out of my silly little memes and these stupid things I do, that's all I want. Everything's super serious right now, which is good, and we should be on that. But I kind of want to just have some fun with it. And a lot of people are telling me, just keep doing what you're doing. It's fun. Obviously, I'm going to change it over time. I don't know where that's going to go. Maybe it turns into short little movies. I don't know.
That's the beauty of it.
You know, like I don't have like, I have a plan, but scaling takes time.
For sure.
You know,
And
10 years from now, we'll have another interview and you'll be in a huge studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll do it.
I'll still be selling t-shirts out of my car, but nonetheless, I'll still be doing it.
Oh my gosh. No, man. You know how it is. It's
the love for it. That's what you want.
And the thing is, as much as you plan, it's the motion of the ocean, bro. We have to go with how the world works and how things play out.
Exactly.
You know, it's not always going to go as you plan, but as long as you keep working, that's all you can do is keep working and keep grinding.
You know what? It's the creating of the product. It might be the same for you. For me, it's the idea to creating it, to putting it out, to somebody wearing it. That whole process is fantastic. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Even if I make something that doesn't sell, that does happen, and you just take the hit and go, note to self. Not
this didn't work.
Not going to work.
Yeah, it's not an L. It's not a loss. It's a lesson.
You could do all the promotion. You can promote it, put it out. People, I love it. And then the day it drops, it doesn't hit.
Yeah,
and that happens.
Yeah, but that's all part of it.
It's learning.
You know,
You're
and
always learning.
The best part about what you just said is you enjoy the process. So even if it doesn't work out, you still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people put all the weight on it working out.
Well, and the thing I always think too is I'll make a video. And I'll do some art. I'll just put it out.
Yeah.
I don't wait.
Yeah.
I used to wait. Oh, it's not good enough. And then you like analyze. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It just put it out. Oh, that's sick. Like the strength just to put it out is the best thing.
It's the best. 100%.
You get over that barrier, like, I'm going to look like a geek. I know. I don't talk a lot in my videos.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that yet. I mean, I'm talking
it only gets better
now.
though.
But yeah. So as time goes on, I'll maybe move into that more and get into that world.
Yeah. But if you're not putting them out, they don't get better.
No.
Because you're not going to see the interaction. You're not going to get the genuine criticism. You're not going to, you're just going to hide it and move on.
In person, when someone comes up to you like, yo, you're jokes.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling.
I bet.
And then you're out skating like, hey, man, like, I like what you're doing. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. It's been, for me as well, it's happened seldomly, but the couple of times where I've met someone and had a conversation, they're like, oh, yeah, I've seen your podcast. I like what you're doing. It's like,
once it gets bigger, you'll have
it means
more
a lot.
That.
But dude, it means so much. It's so. I just do this because I love it, and that's why we do this. I'm trying to promote good things and something that's been a positive influence on my life, and to see that reaches other people actually is just amazing. Shout out anybody.
Agreed.
That's riding along.
Mm-hmm.
when was the first time you smoked
Oh,
or got high? Either one.
yeah. Me and my buddy Jeff, classic. He got it off his brother.
Yep. It's a good one.
Like dirt weed. But at the time, it was shit.
Yeah. But all
We
weed
rolled
was
it
back
up like, a broken candy cane. It looked crazy. I just remember we went out to like the bush. Like I lived up north, so it was like in the bush and just, no one's around. And then I had to go home for dinner because that's how young I was. I was probably about 13, maybe.
Yeah.
13 or 14.
but one of the earlier ones.
Yeah. And so it was like still kind of new
For
because,
sure.
this is like late 80s, early 90s.
So it was still illegal.
Right. And I just remember getting as I'm sure everybody knew, but I was just pie-eyed, like, pass the beans or whatever. Re-eating. I was out of it. But after that, the next day, I was like, yo, we need to get some more of that. Like, I think it was chasing getting high and how cool it was. But as time went on, like, when you get into high school and stuff, I was like, okay, like, I played a lot of sports up until, like, grade 11, like, a lot of basketball and track.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do it. But I was still skateboarding the whole time, too.
Yeah.
Because the reason was, I don't want to go. I didn't like school much. It wasn't for me. So if I could do other things, like go to a track meet for the day and not be at class,
I'm going.
The two kind of set differently. So I wouldn't smoke at track events, I guess.
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
like that.
understandably.
Right. And then, and then that I was kind of parlayed into my skateboarding because I was smoking weed and skating.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't, like I was saying, I feel timid.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to feel timid when I'm playing basketball or when I'm doing track.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel timid and be like, this guy's smoking me if I'm doing running or whatever, right?
100%.
That was kind of like
your balance,
Yeah, I kind of that was how I looked at it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of got into it a little bit, but why do you think there's such a stigma around cannabis and athleticism?
I mean, I can't speak for all athletes, and I'm definitely not an athlete at all.
Yeah.
But I know they're allowing it in the NBA now.
Okay.
Cannabis.
I didn't know that.
I think the NFL they are too. They're talking about it, or it's already implemented.
Wow.
Because it's not an enhancement drug. That's all they care about.
I agree.
Right. The Olympics is easing up on it.
Okay.
So like the skateboarding is the Olympics, so I'm using that as a
fair enough.
Right. But I think they still are.
Yeah.
So I know the benefits of it for me, but for like everyone else, I mean, most people like smoke it. You know what I mean? Like they mostly they're not as like. I don't know how to explain that. I don't really know right now.
That's fine.
I just got stumped there for a minute.
That's fine. So when you're smoking, what's your type of cannabis that you prefer? Do you have you like the indicas, the hybrids, the sativas, or are you kind of?
I mean, they're all kind of all mixed together now. Like,
yeah, a lot of them.
Pure sativa. There's not one pure
very
indica.
Much. Yes.
Hybrid is through the roof.
Yeah.
On the regular, I would say probably like I'd go with indica.
Yeah.
If we have to like pick one, but I do like sativa, a little bit of mix of everything. To be honest with you,
yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of like, since we have the opportunity that we can go and buy stuff, and then to have legal to legacy, we have both markets, so I kind of dabble in both.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm hurting, so it's the $100 bag. It is what it is. It's the economy we live in,
For sure.
Sometimes you get a nice nug out of it. Not always.
Any strains you like in particularly, or just kind of like like experimenting? I
think at this point, like I can say bubblegum kush, I can say runts, I can say all that stuff's amazing. But I think now I just kind of, if I know someone, my apologies. If I know someone, I'll just get it off of them.
Yeah.
Or if I just go into a store and be like, yeah, I'll try that.
I
ran up on just a bit.
And whatever's up.
It's always changing.
Absolutely.
And I love that. And now that we have the ability to try so many different strains, like a lot of them from BC, I'm starting to get back into, like a lot of the brands out there, because I haven't really tried all of them out there.
Got you. Yeah.
And Ontario, like, I'll try that. Yeah, I'm not really. I'm that open to everything.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean that's the way to do it. Some
people can be very like, oh, I only like this.
Yeah,
okay, dude. Like that's what you're into right now, but you can always change it.
Yeah. For me, I'll only smoke if I know or can speak to a farmer. I want to know what's up.
Yeah.
Like as a grower myself, sure. I know. Kind of what to ask and how to spot the phonies,
right?
On the growing side, but generally, what that means is I end up just smoking a lot of my own cannabis.
I mean, if you're growing your own stuff,
yeah,
like, that's a luxury when I get those from friends. Like, wow, like Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll have a little bag for you when you
cheers.
leave. I mean, you already, I'll show it off. I'll show it off real quick. He already blessed me with the shirt here.
Yeah.
Little Smoker's Champ.
Skatesmoke.bigcartel.com.
Yeah. Check that out. And yeah, like I said, I'll bless you back with a little bit. Gotta hook up the homies, show some love.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Make sure you're smoking on some good cannabis and
Nice.
enjoying yourself.
I love it.
I think that's really, we wrapped it up. We covered a bunch of things. I appreciate you coming out so much, man. It's been awesome talking to you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate, again, like I said in the beginning, I keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel honored to be on it. And bigger, better things for you,
For sure, man. Hopefully, we all grow bigger and we come back one day and do this again.
We will, for sure. We will, for sure.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, man.
To everyone watching, if you enjoy what we're doing, make sure to like, follow, and share on YouTube at High Passion Pod and on Instagram and Spotify at High Passion Podcast. If you want to keep up with our guest today, drop him a follow on Instagram at SkateSmokeCo for some dope cannabis and skateboarding content. I want to give a huge shout out to Sean Sweeney at SeanCS10 for everything you do for the podcast and making this all happen. And to all our viewers, I hope you tune in next time. And until then, stay positive and stay passionate.